Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is part 3. My older sister hated me. Let's watch the video.
Story time, my abusive older sister, part 3. So, where I left off is she and I were about to get into it, and my mom was in between us. And she was in her doorway, I'm in my doorway. Our rooms are like right next door to each other. So, my mom pushed me in my room and closed the door on me. And then she was telling me, lock the door, lock the door, lock the door. Mind you, at this time, I was like 12 or 13, something like that. And she telling me, lock the door, so I end up locking the door. So I locked the door and I'm in there thinking like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do if she get in here? Because I didn't really want to fight her because she was an adult. So I'm like, what am I gonna do if she get in here? I'm thinking I gotta get something to like help me if I need to use something on her. So I'm looking around my room, and I had a bookshelf in my room. So I go to the bookshelf, I start looking through the bookshelf like, what can I use? What can I use? And then I'm like, oh, I got safety. So I'm like, let me get those and get them in case she come in the room. So I'm holding them, holding them, holding them, and I just hear my door like bunking and bumming, like she's booming into the door. So I hear the lock shaking too. So I'm thinking she's trying to like pick my lock, cause like you could pick the locks in the house with like a butter knife or a bobby pin type stuff. So I feel like she's picking my lock or whatever. So I hear like that happening, and I hear her like yelling, and I hear my mother voice. I'm like, what's going on? I'm getting like all adrenaline pumping. So my door just bust in, and I was like, it's my mother. I was about to do my mother in with the safety. So I'm like, what the? So then my mother's like, oh, don't do nothing. Leave it alone. Sit down. Let it be over. Blah blah blah. So I'm like, okay. So I sit down on my bed, and she left out. I closed the door. So she in her room. I'm in my room, but I still hear her still going. Like she's still yip yip yapping. So I came out, and I see, I'm like, what's up? Because like I'm sick of you talking. Like, let's go. I'm like, I'm not a little girl no more. You're not about to keep punking me. You're not about to keep talking me, shaming me, trying to put me down about myself, and you think that I'm gonna just keep letting it happen. Oh well, like no, I'm not going for that. So she started coming at me. I came at her. Boom, we just start fighting. Now we tussling, whatever. She tried to like get me to the floor, but like I was thick. I was thick since I was 13, so it was like she couldn't get me to the floor. So basically, we like getting up, and my mother came broke it up. By the time she broke it up, I guess she felt the type of way because she didn't get me like how she wanted to get me. Like obviously before she always beat me up because I was a child. Now I'm getting to a teenage age, I'm getting bigger, so she couldn't really just throw me down or like get the best of me so easily. So now after that, she had an attitude. The rest of the night it just went by because like I had ended up coming down, I stayed in my room, I let it go. She ended up like letting it go too, but like she had like an attitude. She kept like looking at me when she see me around whatever the house and whatever, and we didn't speak for like a while. So that was like the last thing that happened. She didn't try nothing after that. And fast forward, she ended up moving out, moving back in with G&T. So she was living at G&T house because they lived in a brownstone, and she like lived upstairs in the brownstone with them. So fast forward, out of nowhere, she started getting like seizures. Like randomly, she's getting seizures. So when I said fast forward, I mean like fast forward 2 or 3 years. So by now, I was like 16 or something, and all these years she was living at the brownstone with G&T. So like I said, she started having seizures. When she started having seizures, it was like happening all the time, and she had to get hospitalized. When she got hospitalized, they could not figure out why she was having seizures. She just kept having like seizure after seizure. They admitted her. She was in the hospital for like months, and they never figured out why she had seizures because she did not have epilepsy. So basically, in between this time, she just got really sick and really weak, and my mom was taking care of her, and my mom was spending the night at the hospital with her. Like every night, I was coming up there to visit her, and the days that I didn't come up there to visit her because I was a teenager and I was like trying to be outside and have fun and stuff, my mom used to get mad at me and be like, "You need to come see your sister." Da, da, da. So I would come over there more or whatever. But I didn't like going, not because I didn't like want to see her, because it made me feel bad to see her like that. Like it would hurt me, like because she was getting like she already was a slim girl, but like when she started getting sick, she got real skinny and she looked at real bad, and it like I'm emotional, so like it really hurt me to see her like that. Like regardless of anything, I always loved her, so it still hurt me to see her looking like that. So basically, now they ended up letting her go because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her, but she was like still so like weak and frail, so she had to come back and live with us again. But now when she came back to live with us again, we had moved, so now we was living in a 3 bedroom instead of a 4 bedroom because I had a bedroom, my brother and my mom, so she had to come share a room with me. So now this is where it starts back up. But by the time she comes share a room with me, I thought she had changed because the times that I was talking to her, like she was acting normal. I don't know if it's because she was sick or whatever, but she was acting normal. And then also she started going to like the Kingdom Hall. I don't know if y'all know what the Kingdom Hall, like when somebody's a Jehovah Witness. She was a Jehovah Witness. So basically she started studying the Bible. So she asked me if I want to study the Bible with her. I, of course, had no problem with studying the Bible with her. So every Sunday, I used to study the Bible with her for like a whole year. Everything was fine. She used to borrow my clothes. She was going on dates with people. I let her wear my stuff, borrow my shoes, my coats, everything. Mind you, I was a teenager and I had a job, and she was borrowing my stuff. I gave her one of my North Face coats that my mom bought me. I let her have it because I had 3 coats and she had none. Okay, I'm not trying to sound like bragging or nothing, but I'm just saying I was always very, very sharing and giving with her. I was never stingy with her ever, no matter what happened in the past. I always wanted to go forward and build a relationship with her because, like I keep saying, I always loved her and I just wanted her to like me. Like in my head at the time, from childhood to teenager, I always will be thinking, I just want my sister to be cool with me. I just want my sister to like me. So now we sharing the room together for like a year, and then she started going back to work. So basically, it was like okay, she started going to sleep earlier and stuff like that. So she wanted me to turn out the light earlier. She wanted me to get off the phone earlier because I'll be like talking on the phone at night type stuff, whatever. And she would get mad like, oh, you have to turn out the light by 9 o'clock, by 10 o'clock. Like she was like putting time limits, like, oh, you have to turn the light off, or you have to get off the phone. I don't want to hear you talking on the phone. So this how like the stuff started starting back up between us. So I'm like, you cannot tell me that I have to get off the phone, this and this and that, the third. Like I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but I'm like, we have to come to a mutual agreement of time that the light's gonna go off and like that's gonna be quiet. We have to have a discussion and have an agreement about it. You cannot just you set a time and think that that's what it is. Like no, because I was going to school and I had a job too, so it's like you can't just come in here and think you're gonna run the room and you wasn't even here. Like this was my room by myself. You came here after. Like that's not fair. So basically, that's how me and her started getting into it again, whatever the case. Now, this was the straw that broke the camel's back between our relationship. By now, like she was acting funny, but it wasn't like nothing crazy, and we wasn't getting into it for real. So this day, me and my mom got into an argument about something. I don't want to say what it was about, but me and my mom was arguing about something. I was like 17. Me and her was going at it, going at it, going at it. I got really, really, really upset and I was like yelling and everything. She was yelling at me and everything. Then my mom closed the door. She went in her room by herself and I was like mad upset. I was like crying and everything, crying down, falling down the wall, everything. And I went in the living room and I was like losing it. Like I was like the teenage hormones was killing me because I was like losing it, crying, going crazy. Like I started snatching stuff off the walls, like I was losing it. Now this is where my sister took advantage of the situation to try to like put my something in my mom's head against me. Because my mom, the whole time I'm doing all of that, the whole time I was losing it, my mom was in her room with the door closed. So my mom could probably hear me yelling and like losing it, but she didn't see what I was doing. She could only hear. Because I went all the way in the living room all the way on the other side of the house from my mom's room. So basically, after I get done losing it, oh, the time is so it's gonna be a part 4. That's probably gonna be the last part. But by the time I get done losing it, I try to go back in the room. When I try to open the door, she locked me out the room. How you gonna lock me out my own room, G? Like, are you serious, bro? Like, like every time I think about this, it kills me because like, why are you locking me out of my own room? But yeah, like this when it gets to the crazy part.
Your sister knew what she was doing because she just wanted to be selfish and she wanted your mother, her mother, and her to be by herself. She didn't want you anywhere around. That's just why she was playing you this whole time. But let's do part 3. This is the end of part 4. This is the end of part 3. More videos on the way. This is Life with Sean Renee. And I'm out. Bye.